Okay, we're good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Okay, we're back.
Welcome
We're
back.
Week 10 recap.
Just concluded. We just finished Monday night.
Just concluded. Commanders just won. We'll get the other games rolling first, then we'll roll back around. Adam Stone, Josh, just Josh, my personal chef, apparently.
Still fucked up the Instagram handle again.
Oh, did you? Well, it's okay. All right. NFL, right? Let's just get into it because no one else cares. Also, too, do we want to do the eulogy now or do you want to wait till their game? Because we might as well wait till the game.
Yeah.
All right, Thursday night game, Carolina, Atlanta. Not much to talk about. Carolina. Well, quickly, Mariota. What was he doing? Absolutely atrocious.
It was the worst quarterback play I think I've ever seen.
He rolling on the ground, throwing the ball up,
running out of bounds, 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage,
costing him a field goal. Yeah, that game, Atlanta and Carolina are kind of where we thought they were going to be. Mariota's done. This is his.
Give me Ritter.
You got to go with Ritter soon, right? Because I mean, you've got now they're 4-6. Mm-hmm. You've got 7 games to figure out if you need a quarterback or not.
Yeah,
that's pretty much. Carolina needs a new quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know if Mariota was like, "Yeah, this is prime time. I'm getting me a fucking contract, and we're gonna go do this thing." I don't know.
Maybe that would make sense. But yeah, I mean, they were kind of. I mean, they're still not far behind the Bucs, but whatever. Yeah. I have really nothing else to say other than that. Other than I think it's time for Ritter. You got to figure out the last 7, 8 games.
Yep.
Who's your quarterback? Because we'll get towards it afterwards at the end when we go over what coaches we think are going to survive. But this is a 3 quarterback draft, I think. And right now,
and then who?
Right. So like Atlanta, you either got to be in or you got to be out, one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we can move on from them. Then we'll get into the Sunday games. Early Sunday game, Tampa Bay, Seattle. A lot of faith in the Bucs. Having Jensen back is going to be huge for them.
What did I say last week, though? Watch out for that win.
Watch out for the win. You said to watch out for that win. Seattle could not run the ball.
No.
Absolutely could not run the ball.
That Bucs defense looked like the Bucs defense we've been expecting all year, and we just haven't seen it.
We've kind of been saying we were slightly worried about the Bucs. They're going to win the division.
Yeah.
Yes. Seattle, we were like, let's wait to see what happens when Geno Smith's got to win a game.
We saw what happened.
Because we will come way back to Seattle. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just get into it now. Okay. Russell Wilson, looking at the plays on his wrist. Apparently, that was a problem for him.
Yeah. We can't have that. Aaron Rodgers does it, by the way. Russell Wilson can't have it.
Apparently, Russell Wilson says absolutely not to the wrist guard. Wrist play sheet. Look here, we're flipping it up. We should wear one.
Oh, yeah. I love that. And we can have our whole thing, outline of our podcast on the wrist guard.
Oh, I like that. Maybe we can autograph it and sell it for some money. But, man, I feel like we talk about this every week. Like, does everybody hate Russell Wilson?
Yeah, it kind of seems like it.
Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know. I am trying to think of a time where your former team is just trashing you.
And nobody comes to your defense.
Nobody's coming to his defense. I don't think anybody in the Broncos have come to his defense that I'm aware of. They won a Super Bowl with Russ Wilson. I thought it was a good thing. We all kind of assumed that it was Seattle was going into rebuilding.
Yep.
That's why they moved on and switched him, whatever. But that does not seem to be the case. I don't know what's going on. Pete Carroll predicted the future. Pete Carroll knew he was done because I guess we can move to their game next because that wasn't really anything special. That was Tennessee. I'll just quickly pull it up. Tennessee, Denver. It was 17-10. Tannehill came back, played solid. Not great, but he played solid enough for them to win.
Westbrook, Aki, or whatever his name is, the only guy that mattered on that team.
Absolutely the only guy that mattered.
Because Derrick Henry was doing absolutely nothing on the ground.
I mean, Russ Wilson, 21 out of 42, 50%. Touchdown, interception, 6 sacks. Took a lot of sacks.
Guy fucking stinks.
They can't run the ball. I mean,
he's so bad.
Judy went out early, but I mean,
you still have so many weapons on that team that shouldn't matter.
Like what?
That shouldn't matter.
I mean, again, we're going to get to it after we go over all of these guys, all of this, because Hackett, he's not an NFL coach, right? Like
it doesn't seem like it.
I don't know what the blow-up button is, but you got to be pretty close. You got no draft picks.
How much are we going to blame that on Hackett, and how much are we going to blame on Wilson, though? Because by all accounts, like we just said, everything we're hearing from Wilson can't be an easy guy to coach, can't be an easy guy to make a leader in that locker room and get the...
Again, Richard Sherman and Marshawn Lynch said that
have shit on him
and
so many times.
When they were on his team, they were like, yeah, you got to contact Russ's people.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Is that his PR team? Is that
it's Team 3?
It's whatever.
Team 3.
Whoever I guess, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I guess his management team?
Yeah, it's...
To get a hold of your quarterback? I don't know. The whole thing stinks.
And two guys that were very good on that team, mind you. They were very good players on that Seahawks team.
It sounds like they were pretty good, like if I remember it correctly. But yeah, I don't know. That's going to be real interesting to see what happens with that team. Seattle, the first kind of... Tampa Bay is where it's got to be. They're starting it. We're over halfway point of the season. They're playing better now. They beat the Rams. They beat the Seahawks. Maybe they're trending up.
I think they're definitely trending up, and I don't expect.
When Tom Brady has time to throw, they're running the ball better.
Yeah, because who's that running back? It wasn't playoff Lenny.
Oh, Rashad White.
Yeah.
What was he, a third-round pick? I think he was.
Yeah, something along those lines. Not a high draft pick.
Right.
Came out and ran the piss out of the ball and just hammered it down their throats.
Yeah, and they just. I was watching that game early, and it was. Man, everybody's like, Geno, you got to come up with it, but all of a sudden you're not running that ball.
Yeah.
Makes it a hell of a lot harder. But
and that Bucs secondary's always been good.
But you know what, though? Think about, we were talking about it last time with Tom Brady, how excited he was that he won. It seemed like that really set the team over.
And it carried over to this game for sure.
We're gonna talk Pittsburgh Saints. Pittsburgh wins 20-10. I think now Dennis Allen's the coach. Says he might have a quarterback change. Might go to Jameis Winston instead of Andy Dalton. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, who?
Doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Now, this is also
they're
tough.
almost the same quarterback.
This is also tough, too, because I said it before the draft. I think I touched on it last week. If not, it was 2 weeks ago. When the Saints traded up.
I think it was 2 weeks ago that you said this.
For their tackle, right? Like, oh. That means you're going all in with Jameis Winston and Andy Dalton as your two quarterbacks. And throw Hill in there, too, because he's going to throw the ball a little bit. Now, all of a sudden, and like I said, this will come to our coaching change game. All of a sudden, this is the team you're married to. Like, this is where you guys are there. A breakup would be very hard just because of cap numbers and stuff like that. The Saints could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep.
I kind of liked where they were going. I said that I liked their team. You look at their team and you're like, oh, these guys got some guy. Like the quarterbacks. They're really their big.
Their defense is still a top.
Their defense is still pretty good. I mean, their offensive line could use a little work. But you still got Kamara, Chris Olave now. You got Juwan Johnson having a big.
He's coming out.
He's coming out,
showing out.
So all of a sudden, you look at their team and they got some nice pieces, and they're kind of falling into a little bit of a Carolina where you like their pieces, you like whatever, but they're just not winning. But now, unlike Carolina, who's going to have a top 10 pick, top 5 pick probably.
They're sitting almost Saints, at 500. They're close.
But the Saints pick goes to the Eagles.
It's right too.
So,
yep, I forgot about that.
Now what do you do? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. Pittsburgh wasn't potential for a number 1 overall pick. They just win, so they bump up. They go up a little bit.
I still got faith in Kenny Pickett. I like him. The receivers.
We talk about it a bunch. Shout out Johnny Patches. He's a friend of ours. He's done with Pickett already. I don't know. I kind of like Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been his fault.
No, absolutely not. T.J. Watt. TJ Watt comes back.
But their offensive line is one of the worst lines.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And
when you got your big back there, I'm blanking on his name.
Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee Harris. You got Najee in the backfield, and
who's it? Warren. Warren looks good, but
Najee's a big son of a bitch, and if he's not breaking through the line, you got some issues.
Well, we'll talk about. So you could have the best running back in the world when you're getting hit a yard behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, you're fighting for everything. And also before this week. I'll have to dive in because I didn't watch the game, but the longest touchdown of the season before this week for the Pittsburgh Steelers was 8 yards. Right when I did it, I had to double check. Then I texted a few of my Pittsburgh friends, and I was like, "Wait, is this a real thing that happened?" He's like, "Oh, it's real." So they have like no explosive plays on there, but
That's
I think
worse in Green Bay.
But like you kind of see it, and like I don't know, they got Pickens.
I love Pickens. I've said it before. I love Pickens. I think that kid's gonna be a dude.
I mean, you got Jalen Warren, Harris. Like
you've got a bunch of. You got Freiermuth. I love Freiermuth.
So right. So I mean, they've got. We'll see where they go, but again, the same thing. It's the. We'll see where they end up, Pittsburgh, because Tomlin's a very good coach.
Yeah.
I think they need a new offensive coordinator though. Like watching them.
They've been calling for him for what, 2 years now?
What? Yeah.
3 years.
We'll talk about now. We'll move on because I don't really know if there's anything left.
Yeah, no.
Stretch out of those two teams.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Bears Lions, and this is where it's going to start getting interesting. Justin Fields,
kid can run.
So,
kid can run.
It's going to be interesting. So he ended up with 43 fantasy points, not if that matters for a lot of people, but. So
he was my starter last 2 weeks.
12 out of 20 for 160 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. But the pick was horrible because that ran back. That lost them the game. But boy, running the ball, Fields, 13 carries for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up scoring 4 touchdowns. They still lost the game.
He scored all their fucking points.
Still lost the game. Missed field goal or missed extra point, I believe is what it came down to. Missed field goal. Lost to the Detroit Lions. But now, boy, I mean, Detroit, we're gonna talk about them afterwards too, about whether because we're gonna do our prediction for coaching, but it kind of looks like Fields. This is what he's gonna be.
Why did it take so long for them to figure this out?
I was watching way back the Thursday night game when it was Washington, Chicago. Fields, they were not using him anything properly.
They're trying to make him be a statue.
He's basically, I believe, I could be wrong, but I think it was hey, do your 3-step drop, do your 5-step drop, whatever the drop is. If your guy's not open, you take off running. So he's standing in the. Well, I'm just saying like previous. So he's standing in the pocket. Nobody's open. He's putting his head down and running. Not a recipe for success by any means. Watching him play, granted, the Lions' defense is absolutely atrocious.
No, but he did it last week too against.
But last week, was it who did they play last week? I can't remember already.
God, we're terrible.
No, that's okay. But
we're terrible.
But now it was kind of he was moving around. He was rolling him out.
Not only that, the last 2 weeks that I've seen, yes, he's running a bunch, but he's also going through progressions. He's actually going through progressions and doing it in a timely manner.
It was Miami. So now in their after the Washington game, they put up 33 against the Patriots, 29 versus the Cowboys, 32 against the Dolphins, and now 30 against the Lions. So all of a sudden now they're running it. I don't know if this is a 5-year plan with Justin Fields letting him run like this.
I still don't think it is, because he is not a thrower. Like
He's not a thrower.
You're trying to make him throw the football.
I think what also helps to, Claypool. What a difference it is having 2 legitimate receiving threats, because now it's like even it was against Miami. There's he took a couple deep shots for Claypool.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're stretching out.
Claypool's a big, fast kid.
And you're stretching out the defense. And Claypool gives them a little flexibility because if you play a zone. Claypool does very well. Darnell Mooney plays very well. Because now you have 2 guys that are very fast that are running around in these zones.
And they catch. And they're pretty good catching the ball.
So now you start playing a little bit of man.
Yeah.
And boy, Justin Fields
has got all the room to run.
You're gonna because I've seen a lot of flood plays. Well, now all of the guys are chasing him over. No one's open. I'm taking off running, and wow.
Yeah.
So I think the Bears, I remember, of course, it was before, I said a couple of weeks ago that the Bears have to realize if Justin Fields is their quarterback or not. This gives them excitement, I think, in their future.
Yeah.
Their team needs a lot of help.
Yeah.
Because they don't have, you kind of look through, like, their offensive line probably could use a little bit of help.
Their defense does not.
Probably definitely another receiver. Their defense doesn't look great. They do have $120 million in cap space next year, which I'm sure everybody will harp on because there's a lot of free agents coming out. But all things considered, I like where the Bears are going. I think Detroit Lions.
He needs to get better at throwing the football, though. He can't be this bad at throwing the football.
You can't win like that.
No,
you just can't. It's not. I don't think it's sustainable.
No, because you get a team that can actually play defense and has fast. The Bucs, for example, that linebacking core flies around the fucking field.
Because and I guess
they would not fare very well against the Bucs because they cover well in the back end, and those linebackers fucking fly.
And I guess as a Green Bay Packers fan, you could shed some light on this, but you want your team to be in the position to be Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the way Justin Fields plays, if you could be a Super Bowl, unless you load that team, I don't know if they could be Super Bowl contenders with his style play. Now, granted, this is his second year. He's got a lot of time. He has gotten better. You're going to have now $120 million cap space. You're going to have your draft picks. They're going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I like where they're going.
No, absolutely.
Detroit, they will play hard for Dan Campbell. We'll discuss whether or not they make it at the end of the year, but or at the after the year. But they got some nice young pieces too. I don't have anything else to add to that. Nope. All right, so we'll move on. Miami, Cleveland. Wow. Is Tua the guy? Is Tua the guy, or is this the? And this is also something that we probably need to consider. One, this might be the fastest team ever assembled on offense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Tua can scramble if he has to. Probably don't want him to because of his hip. But then, so now all of a sudden you have a mobile quarterback. You have Jeff Wilson Jr., who's not 7 yards a carry, 17 carries, 100.
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert. Mm-hmm. Not a slow guy. Jalen Waddle. Gesicki.
Gesicki's probably one of the fastest tight ends in football.
Cheetah. Right? Like, all of a sudden now you're looking at their team and it's just speed. Like, you play too deep, then Waddle's underneath.
Yeah.
You play zone. You got Gesicki over the middle. You have to be stretched out too, so you have the middle open. So Tua has, and then obviously they have a decent offensive line, so he has time to throw.
You can't teach speed.
That's
can't teach
that's
speed.
The thing too.
I really don't think Tua's that good. Personally.
Tua right now. He's putting up absolutely insane.
He's putting up very good numbers. But like we just said, you look at that offense.
I feel like
it's gonna make it's hard for me to believe that he's that good when you look at that offense.
I feel like the game right now is just find the single coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize the zone, throw it to the softest part of the zone because you've got weapons. Like Tyreek's going to be doubled.
Mm-hmm.
He has his. I was watching this game and he had a couple comebacks and it's like, well, you got a guy super deep because he's so fast. Makes a comeback and it's like a nice 13-yard gain and it's nice and it's easy and Tua takes a step back. Hey, the guy's super deep. He's going to come back. They're not going to. And it's just.
Because then it's just one of these times where it's just going to hit him with the back and go or whatever whatever you want to call it,
and it's almost 2 more
stop and go, and then he's gone.
So Miami's running backs, I already said it was Mostert 8 for 65, Wilson 17 for 119. Their longest runs were 24 and 20. So that's a lot of
gash.
That's a lot of 8-yard gains, a lot of 7-yard gains, a lot of 6-yard gains, but you can't stack the box. No. I don't know. So I think we're at the point now where it's like, wow, the speed they've assembled, and they're allowed to do this because Tua's contract is so cheap, so rookie deal. Mm-hmm. I guess Cleveland, they're just waiting for Deshaun to get out of football jail to play.
Yeah. Get out of the doghouse. Even though, when does Goodell get in the doghouse with all the stuff that happened this past week?
This is gonna get wild.
Yeah,
this is gonna get wild. Miami, are they winning the division? We'll talk about their rivals in a second. But so now the Bills are now in third place. Jets are in second. We have Miami in first. Is Miami winning the division?
Can't see it.
We're still going with the Bills. I think the advantage that Miami's going to have. I still like the Bills too. I'm not going to jump off. I'm not going to hit the panic button yet. I've been hitting the panic button a lot. I'm not going to hit it.
This might be the first time you haven't.
Right. It's just Miami's offense is going to win them games.
That defense is fucking terrible.
the defense, they played well. They played well yesterday, but
look who they played.
Yeah, Jacoby.
You got to worry about Nick Chubb. That's all you got to worry about.
That's pretty much all you got now at this point. But I think Miami's offense is going to win them enough games in the regular season that I could see them being I'm still going with the Bills. Ask me again in a couple of weeks. I'm sure we'll be here next week talking about it. We'll move on. KC, Jacksonville. The only thing I really want to touch base with in this game, because this is kind of where we thought it would be, but Tony. Let's talk about Kadarius Toney here for a second here.
How do you
Kadarius Toney, a
bag of
first-round
footballs.
pick,
Bag of footballs for the guy
basically
from
gets traded for spare parts, and boy, did he look good.
Now, it was only a matter of time, too. I think you and I both talked about it. It might not have been on the podcast, but it was only a matter of time.
And especially now, it looks like Juju might be out for a while. That was a pretty nasty hit he took. Was a pretty nasty hit. I shouldn't say that it was a pretty, So, all of a sudden, you might be rolling out. Tony might be their number one receiver right now.
He sure as hell is not going to be MVS. That guy fucking stinks.
Right? So now, all of a sudden, you're going to force this guy in. We're going to see how it goes, but Kansas City look good. Jacksonville still needs a little help on their roster.
Still kind of hung around, though. It's not like they got shit on or anything. So.
Yep. Still like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Bills-Vikings. Where do we want to start in the Bills-Vikings?
Well, I think we should start with our eulogy here.
Our fallen friend, as you could tell from the video, Josh Allen, our cardboard cutout, ran into a little trouble.
Yep, it was called My Drunk Brother.
We had a drunk fan in here. Now, I'm going to say he's a sports fan, but I will surface this with he's a Mets fan who rooted for the Braves and the Phillies in the playoffs. He's also a Green Bay Packers fan who is now converted to a New York Jet fan.
Yep.
Some may say he's a bandwagoner. Some may say he's a simp. We can get into that off camera. But chanting JETS, Jets, decided to rip poor Josh Allen in half and yeet him out the door.
Yep. There is a partial video of him throwing him out the door, which will be added for your guys' viewing pleasure.
Respectfully, of
course. But
uncalled for.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch base on for Josh here.
No. Rest in pieces, buddy.
Rest in pieces, cardboard cutout. We'll see what happens. We were going to sell this. My friend said we should sell it for half price now. But let's get to the game. Wild game.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild game. Bills winning almost the entire game. Cook scores his 81-yard touchdown. They get stuffed at the Vikings come down, get stuffed at the goal line.
Wild game.
All the Bills got to do is get the ball to the end zone. Oops, Josh Allen fumbles. Vikings recover, go up 3. All they got to do is stop the Bills. Bills with 20-something, 28 seconds, 32 seconds, whatever it was. Comes down, they kick a field goal. Vikings end up winning. Josh Allen, a terrible interception to end the game.
So bad. He's in back-to-back weeks, or not back-to-back, against the Packers and against the Vikings this week.
Yep.
Terrible red zone decision-making.
And that's
not even close to good.
And I felt like Josh Allen is not shy to run the ball.
No.
Absolutely not shy to run the ball.
Especially if he's got a sprained UCL, you'd think he'd be more willing to run the football.
He threw the ball 43 times. Just stuff like that concerns me, but it doesn't concern me enough where I thought the Vikings played the best they were going to play against the Bills.
But the Bills gave them that game.
Should have lost. The Bills gave them that game. I don't know what else there really is. Vikings are now 8-1.
I don't think they're that real, though. I'm having my doubts because they had the scare to the Commanders, which, the Commanders did just beat the Eagles. We did watch that game. But,
you start to look through and you start to look at their wins. And I think, and don't get me wrong, teams are going to have hiccups. Teams are going to lose. good teams beat the teams that they should.
Yeah, I mean that's not. They don't say any given Sunday for
right,
no reason.
And I just feel like the Vikings just keep squeaking by, and I'm looking right now. Besides their Week 1 win against the Packers, each game has been decided by one possession or less. Cardinals they beat by 8, Bears 7, Saints 3. Saints was those big. The field goals, like if you remember that game.
Yeah. Will Lutz. Will Lutz was hitting absolute ripping shots from
like
60 plus.
Barely beat the Lions, barely beat the Saints, barely struggled. Like they barely beat the Bears. Like it says a lot that they're winning, and stuff like that will get you to the playoffs. But all of a sudden now you're going to have a rematch. You got the Cowboys, Patriots, Jets, all at home. Lions, Colts should be gimmies. Yep. Then you finish with Packers, Bears. The Bears game was close, so.
And if the Packers can continue with
Cowboys, we'll see what happens. Like they played not great, but we'll see where they are with the like. All of a sudden, if the Vikings lose to the Cowboys, then the Patriots are not an easy game by any chance. Then you got to play the Jets, who are obviously playing pretty well. I mean the fact that all these games are super close. Like it's very hard to win close games in the NFL. Especially with Kirk Cousins. Watching
are any of those games primetime by chance?
Yes, we have a couple. Well, the Patriots, the NBC, I think the Sunday night game. Or no, I'm sorry, that's the Thanksgiving game. What am I talking about? So that's about as prime time as you could get. But then after that, it looks like, I mean, the Colts game will get flax like that. I don't think that'll be prime time. Same thing with the Bears at the end, but.
They might, depending on what.
I guess they might.
Depending on what's happening with the NFC and everything like that, that could.
And
stay
honestly, too, like their Lions game was super close.
Yeah.
The Colts, we'll see what the Colts are with Jeff Saturday by then, but they kind of got a pretty rough schedule. It looks like, in my opinion, especially Bills, Cowboys, Patriots, Jets.
Yeah.
Lions, Colts, Giants, Packers, Bears.
Giants aren't no slouches.
Right, and you finish like we'll see what they are. But
very easily could go 4-4 over their next couple of games here.
Very, very easily. Like it helps that they're home.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think the Cowboys game, that's gonna be a great game. And I think that'll say a lot about both teams depending on how that goes.
Yeah. Mike McCarthy on the rebound here.
Patriots on short whatever. That's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna help that they're home. And then you get the extra 3 days. Play the Jets.
Yep.
We'll see where they are, but like I'm watching the Bills game, and when it's kind of comes down to where it's got to go. It's like you just force the ball to Jefferson. Not a bad option.
No, absolutely.
Not a bad option at all. But
absolutely.
I don't know how far. I don't know how far Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins had 50 passing attempts. Like 50 passing attempts, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
That's what I'm talking about, though. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and they won. They shouldn't be winning. And
then again, too, like Dalvin Cook, you take away his 81-yard touchdown. Now, again, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. I don't ever mean it like, hey, take away their longest run.
No.
But all of a sudden, he's 13 carries for 20-something yards. So your run game's not effective. He has 1 breakaway.
And that's against the Bills' defense, mind you. The Bills' defense that's not very good at stopping the run.
So, it's just Hawkinson was so big for them because, for a guy that's been there for 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, they are forcing him the ball a lot. But so I'm still not worried about the Bills.
No.
Also, too, with the Bills, they got to run the ball a little bit more. They weren't running it great, but they were running it pretty well.
But that's another thing too, though.
And they just kind of gave up on the run.
Well, not
strange.
Not only that, but their running backs they give the ball to the other team.
That is true.
Kind of where things started to unravel there. It looked like.
And I don't know. Again, not super worried. I think the Vikings are a good team. I'm not saying they're not a good team. To me, I think they're just an above average team that hasn't blown any games.
Yeah.
Which is that's a playoff team, but I just don't know when it comes to the playoffs, or if they don't get the number 1 seed, you got to beat 3 playoff teams in a row. I don't know if they can do that. So we can move on to another Giants Houston. Watch all that game. I had it on here. They make me nervous, the Giants, because
I thought Texas was going to cover. I thought the Texans were going to cover. I really did.
The Texans, they just have, man, they got a lack of talent on that team.
No, it's almost sad. Like
I think this was a tale of two teams where the Texans put all of their eggs in the Dameon Pierce basket. Giants put all of their eggs in the Saquon Barkley basket.
Not many times that the Saquon Barkley basket's going to lose either.
Right. I mean, like, Barkley had 35 carries in this game. The Giants, it took you 35 carries with Saquon Barkley to beat the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
You got to start evaluating because Daniel Jones played the game manager role perfectly. 13 out of 17, 2 touchdowns, 197. I watched the Giants play, and I'm not saying it's fool's gold. I don't think that's what I'm going to get at, but it's just how far in the playoffs do you think they're going to go?
Not very.
Right, because you kind of watch them play. Like Slayton had the big touchdown.
They don't have, other than Barkley, they don't have that guy that you go, oh yeah, I'm real scared of him.
I mean, Kenny Galladay gets benched again. Just get rid of him. Yeah. Why is he on the why is he just?
He's got to have a big cap hit or
His
something.
His cap hit's big, but eat the cap hit. He's not worth it. I like Wendell Robinson.
I do too.
I think he could be next year like a Deebo Samuel kind of guy. Obviously, that's a stretch for him to be that good, but I think he'll be pretty good. But man, like Texans and Giants, that game was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched that game and I was just like, eh.
Yeah, no. In New York too.
In New York, so I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to add. We hit the Titans and Broncos. Okay, let's roll through. So, Indy, Vegas.
I more want to talk about press conferences than anything else in this game.
I think really the only thing that's important that we need to discuss is we sat here, we talked about it. The Matt Ryan benching was the dumbest move, costed him his job.
Yeah.
Frank Wright's job.
Well, it was either going to make or break it. Because if Sam Ehlinger came in and absolutely lit the world on fire, he was going to look like the smartest coach of all time, and it was going to be a hell of a move. But like we expected, really didn't make a whole lot of sense. We didn't know why they were doing it, so it kind of was like a.
So where do you want to start? You want to start with the Colts or the Raiders?
We'll start with the Colts.
Okay, so Jeff Saturday's never coached college before, coached in high school, comes in, beats the Raiders.
I don't think he knows anything about football, though.
So this is where it gets interesting, and this is where you go. He played with Peyton Manning. They had a lot of great success together.
Do you know who played with after that?
Who? Jeff Saturday?
Aaron Rodgers. He played with Aaron Rodgers.
He played with the Colts for a year?
No, he played with the Packers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Yeah, he played with the Packers?
Yep,
I didn't know that.
1 year. 1 year. I believe it was 2014.
Could be. It could have been. So, but I mean, I guess, so you got a guy that never coached before. He comes in, says Ellinger's the guy there. Matt Ryan takes the reps. Matt Ryan wins him the game, plays very well. Nobody knows the offense better than Matt Ryan, I assume, at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Matt Ryan's a pro.
Jonathan Taylor all of a sudden looks like a real guy again when you have a threat to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Also, where do we go with the Raiders?
I want to...
I don't know where to... I don't even know... You let a guy come in off the booth.
Yeah.
Off the booth here.
Yeah.
Who's never coached at that high of a level before. Comes in, basically, I'm assuming, says, hey, quarterback coach, hey, Matt Ryan, you guys figure out the offense. I will morally lead this team to a victory. His press conference was, I can lead men. I can find people to do the football stuff. You go in, makes fun of the Raiders on his Twitter.
So good.
Before he gets hired, comes in, beats the Raiders. The Raiders are a disaster. Josh McDaniels, we'll talk about if he's an NFL coach at the end because we're gonna blow through this. But if there's anything else you want to add, I don't really.
The only thing I really want to talk about is. Well, one, Devontae kind of had himself a little bit of a game again. He's either boom or bust. 150 and a touchdown or something, somewhere around that.
He had 126 and a touchdown, 9 receptions on 14 targets.
Yeah, Devontae does well, whatever. Yeah. Does what he needs to do. But my thing is, I want to talk about Derek Carr Derek Carr comes into his press conference, and he's only up there. I listened to the whole thing. He was only up there like 7-8 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Gets emotional in the middle of it. Says that us captains, we were back there and we had a talk with the team like we should have, like we needed to. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that he doesn't think everybody's heart's in this team. Little concerning, no? Like, well, especially for the talent that they've got, like the big marquee names that they got on that team, and he's wondering if everybody's really into this team and really wants to play for this team.
So I think there's a lot to unfold here because. Okay, we're into some crazy. So Derek Carr had all day to throw.
Yeah,
had all day to throw. I think Pro Football Focus gave their offensive line the best line of the week, whatever it was. Hey, they won their thing. Derek Carr had so much time to throw. Derek Carr was 24 out of 38, 250 yards, 248, whatever, 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs ran the ball 21 times, so they didn't abandon the run.
Mm-hmm. We talked about Devontae.
They couldn't. Who's a shot that at? Who are you shooting at with this? If you're Derek Carr, who are you aiming your negative? Hey, these guys aren't trying. Like who is he aiming these towards? Because Devontae Adams, you're feeding him the ball, and it's not like he's not producing. Like he's putting up big numbers up.
Devontae also said middle of the week. He also said that I didn't come here and get paid this money to not get the fucking football.
Right. And
which, I mean, taking a shot at Derek Carr a little bit there maybe, but it doesn't seem like Devontae's the one that Derek Carr was shooting at the press conference, so I don't really know what this means.
And so now also too, after the game next day, they back up. I don't know if the team does. Josh McDaniels goes all in on himself. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. Owner comes in, says, no, this is our coach. Something tells me...
Jeff Saturday also said that Sam Ehlinger was going to be quarterback, so...
Well, yeah, but I mean, that was obviously a much different situation.
Yeah, but how much is Al Davis saying that now to kind of try to reunify the team and re-get them established?
You kind of have to, but I think he's gone at the end of the season, Josh McDaniels. But Josh McDaniels, if your quarterback is getting that emotional that he doesn't think the team's into it.
And Devontae kind of echoed his same thoughts.
Devontae was kind of like, hey,
post game as well.
Hey, what are we doing here?
No, like, that was midweek, but post game he was echoing the same sort of thoughts that Derek Carr was echoing.
And it's the way he said it was he wished everybody that was here had the same goal. And
it doesn't sound like he's talking about players. It doesn't.
Because Devontae and Derek Carr, I think, made their side deal to get these guys together on the side, and when Devontae's had the targets, it's gone very well. It's gone very well for the Raiders offensively.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is running for a contract.
Yeah, he's running for the Brinks truck.
They are running him into the dirt. Darren Waller's hurt, but again, I'm going to look up here when you're talking in a second the future of the Raiders, but this is very concerning. I would say this is very, very concerning. So
absolutely, but like I said, it doesn't appear that he's targeting players. The way he was saying things and kind of the way Devontae was saying things as well.
Is that a shot at McDaniels?
I think it's got to be because Devontae kind of said he's like, yeah. I'm trying to think of what he said now. It was somewhere along the lines of like, yeah, we got the guys together. We had to talk with the guys, and we just. We got to start playing better football.
And
just the way they were saying it. If you go and watch them, I don't think he's talking about players. I don't think they're talking about players.
This is a weird team, and again, we'll fast forward at the end. We'll go through it, but
this is the same Derek Carr who brought the team together after Henry Ruggs killed somebody last year. Let's be honest here. Like, this is the guy that's getting emotional on the stand. The guy who unified a fucking football team and brought them to the playoffs. After Henry Ruggs killed somebody in a car accident.
And I just...
baffling to me
right now. You go
and
you get your guy. Josh Jacobs is playing the best football of his career. They still can't win. I don't know. Like I said, we'll talk because we're going to go real quick. We got 3 more games to cover, 4 more games. Not much to say about the Cards. Rams battle the backups.
Such a boring game.
I mean, Murray's hurt, Stafford's hurt, Cup gets hurt. That kind of ends the Rams season.
Cup might be dead.
Cards, we never really had a whole lot of faith in anyway, but Colt McCoy looked good for what it was worth, I guess.
Cooper Kupp might be dead.
Cooper Kupp might be dead. That was, I think he said a high severe ankle sprain. He's probably out for the year.
I'd sit him.
At least, you figure 6 weeks, 8 weeks. That's the end of the season.
I'm not letting them
unless they make it to the playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs. Unless they make it to the playoffs. Dallas, Green Bay. We'll get into that. We're not going to harp on the Packers. I know they're your boys.
Yeah, no.
We've been begging for them to run the ball. Halftime, Aaron Rodgers had 6 attempts. They were in the game, running the ball. Jones had a game. Dylan was there. Dylan didn't have a great game, but he kept the ball rolling.
They're not expecting Dylan to have that game every week. He's kind of the guy that's like, oh yeah, you're sick of chasing Aaron Jones. Now guess what? You're just going to be fed a heavy dose of wrecking ball.
And that's just a lot to deal with.
Yeah,
over the course of a game.
He's a big man.
He had 13 carries for 65 yards, so it's not like he had a bad game.
He's a big man.
That's just a lot to deal with. And then very quickly, what they've needed is that
Christian
big
Watson.
play. Christian Watson
was healthy.
We've talked
He's
about
played
it.
the last 2 weeks.
We've talked about it where they need that deep speed. They need to figure it out. Christian Watson played very well.
Christian Watson is 6'5" and he runs a 4.3. The kid's gonna get the ball.
And he had 8 targets, which was very big.
Yes,
it's very, very, very big. So that was the game plan, was to get him the ball.
Yeah, ruined Mike McCarthy's reunion in Lambeau, which I absolutely loved.
You were happy about that. I think it had more to do. I mean, Dak 2 rough interceptions, but I think it was more of Green Bay figured out what kind of football they need to play to win.
Yes.
And they needed to win that game.
Yes.
Dallas didn't need. When your back's against the wall, you're going to fight just a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I think so. Green Bay. We'll see how long they stick with this formula because they were very stubborn, and maybe this is. Aaron Rodgers said they needed a simple game plan. Maybe the simple game plan is turn it off, hand it off, trust the defense.
Yeah.
They still give up 28. No Rashawn Gary.
No Eric Stokes.
But they needed to
Devontae Campbell.
But we talked about it last week. They needed to win this game. Like, the Green Bay needed to win this game because you got a short rest. You got to go against Tennessee Titans on short notice. Mm-hmm. We'll see how it goes. Last but not least, second to last but not least, 49ers beat the Chargers. Again, we'll talk about this real quick. The Chargers are the biggest what-ifs to me. They're always hurt. I love Herbert. I love their team. You look at it, but they're always hurt.
Don't like Brandon
Staley. Always hurt. Their coaching, we questioned their coaching before. I mean, I think he's a Justin Herbert whisperer, but six carries for Austin Eckler. Like, what are we doing?
And they only lost by 6, mind you.
24-16, so, or 22-16.
Only lost by
6-point game.
That game was a lot closer than a 6-point game. They were
not run the ball with Eckler. The stretch that he's been on, don't run it with him. And again, you know what the 49ers are going to do. Hand it off.
Between Mitchell and McCaffrey, there was like 30 carries, no?
So, 32 carries, yeah. So, McCaffrey had 14. Mitchell had 18.
You know what's coming.
4 catches from McCaffrey out of the backfield, 6 targets. Like,
you're gonna double Debo, and then Ayuk's gonna go catch some balls.
You know what's gonna happen. You're doubling Debo, right?
Yeah.
You are shadowing Kittle, right? Kittle, you're probably putting your best safety on, maybe your corner sometimes.
Derwin James was probably guarding him most of the game.
Derwin James was probably because he only had 1 catch. So and I watched part of that game. I wasn't really paying attention too much to matchups. So it's like you got Ayuk single coverage, and you know that ball's going to McCaffrey, and you know it's going to those running backs. Again, I think the Chargers, they just can't stay healthy. Like, they can't stay healthy, and their game plan's always questionable. I don't know.
This was the best game plan I think I've seen, outside of not giving Eckler the ball. This was one of the better game plans I've seen out of Brandon Staley, I think. Yeah. Because to have the guys injured that they had injured, and they still only lost by 6, and like I said, that game was a lot closer than 6 points.
The game was a super close game.
It's a lot closer than a 6-point game.
I mean, we both like the 49ers. We still think 49ers are going to win the division. Chargers, I expect more of the Chargers this year. I don't know what you want to call it. Very quickly too. Commanders played a hell of a game, beat the Eagles. We just finished watching that whole game. Again, that was a close game. Heineken, you got to stick with him the rest of the way. What a difference that offense is.
They keep trying to replace the kid, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
He gets the ball to Scary Terry there. Terry McLaurin gets his catches, gets his touches.
He's the only guy that actually gets the ball to Scary Terry, too.
And that just opens it up because you got to double team him. When we saw him, there was a couple that you throw into double team, he almost still caught the ball. Yeah. Caught the ball in that one deep pass where he was double team, breaks free.
Guy's incredible. Give him the ball.
Eagles, their first loss. Not worried about the Eagles.
No.
I think it was just a tough division matchup. Monday night, everybody came ready to play.
Yep.
Let's get into our game that I've been begging to play. And I'm going to keep track of it here too because that's what we do. We're going to play the Geno Smith game. Now we've been talking about the Seahawks. Been talking about the Seahawks. Pro Football Focus had Geno Smith as the number 2 quarterback going into this week.
Obviously, probably a little different now. Maybe not.
Number 2 behind only Josh Allen for his, I believe, is what their.
Well, I'm sure it was probably Josh Allen. I don't know.
Or
Jalen Hurts.
Josh Allen. I'm sorry. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, you said
Josh Allen.
I was going to say Jalen Hurts was the only one that I could have thought maybe would have been that high.
ESPN has him as the number 4 quarterback in the league, behind number 1 Tua, number 2 Mahomes, number 3 Josh Allen. I wanted to play a little bit of a game here with Josh, where he ranks Geno Smith, because 2 sources have them 2 and 4. Let's just cut the average. We'll say he's the number 3 quarterback.
Okay.
They have him as a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Going the rest of the way, I'm going to start from the bottom of ESPN's list.
Okay.
And we'll start going up. So ESPN has 31 quarterbacks because someone obviously didn't make the cut.
Yep.
31. Who are you taking? Baker, Geno.
Gotta give me Geno. Geno's at least on the field.
So he's moving up. Davis Mills.
Yeah,
right.
Not really much to go with there. He's
Carson
okay.
Wentz, Heineken.
Again, I love Heineken.
No,
but
I'm just saying before the season started.
I'm definitely not putting Heineken.
Before the season started, everybody thought Drew Lock was going to be the starter, right?
Yep.
So we weren't even sure if we were giving Geno top 32 in the league. I mean, we would have given him top 32 because there's a couple of guys that we were like, why are they going to start? Mac Jones, Bailey, Zappy.
You gotta give me Geno again. The way he's been playing.
The guy they traded away.
Goodbye.
Russ Wilson.
Yeah, goodbye.
Right, we're done with Wilson.
Wilson shouldn't be that
Kenny
high.
Pickett. We're taking Geno, right?
Yeah.
Here's one. Now, Pro Football Focus and ESPN do not agree on this guy. This is gonna.
I know who this guy is.
ESPN has him 25th. Pro Football Focus has him a lot higher. Aaron Rodgers. The rest of the way.
Absolutely not.
You're taking Rodgers, right?
Give me Rodgers with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Are you shitting me?
So I'm just. To
Are
keep
you
track.
shitting me?
I mean, right? Yeah, that's not a real.
Come on.
Matt Ryan. So now Matt Ryan was the number 3 in yards. 9 touchdowns when they benched him. 9 interceptions. Matt Ryan, one of the all-time greats. Now, I don't know if we want to buy into too much stock of them beating the Raiders, right? Like, is that a big deal? But who are you trusting right now more, Matt Ryan or Geno Smith?
I'll go Geno.
Okay, so let's just keep moving.
I'll go Geno.
Let's just keep moving because I love this game right now because this is so wild to me because I was reading it and I was like, boy, Andy Dalton / Jameis Winston, Call of Duty Murray.
Goodbye.
Right? Matt Stafford, who has looked pretty terrible this year.
Yeah, I can't. I would have taken Matty Ice before Matt Stafford.
So also ESPN has this guy ranked number 20, Kirk Cousins.
I really liked them.
So we're like, so just as I said, I wanted to talk about this. So Kirk Cousins, the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings, right?
Yep.
They have him number 20 quarterback. We're trusting Geno Smith over him, right?
I think so.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, porn star Jimmy.
Porn star Jimmy. hasn't looked great.
No.
I thought he was going to look better.
He hasn't looked terrible. But
So number 18
great.
quarterback, Zach Wilson.
Yeah, give me Geno.
Ryan Tannehill.
How the fuck is he number? What number did you say he was?
18.
Goodbye. I don't know who's making this list, but goodbye.
Ryan Tannehill.
No, absolutely not.
Trevor Lawrence.
No.
16. Here's one that I know you and I will both agree with. Tom Brady. We're still trusting the GOAT.
Yeah,
the GOAT of GOATs,
if
you will. Number 14, Jared Goff.
No, goodbye.
Now, this is where I'm just looking at this list. There's, let's see, 2 slam dunks in here that I know you will, but this is where it's going to get interesting. Justin Herbert.
No, give me the hair bear.
We're taking the hair bear, right?
Yeah, give me the hair bear.
All right. What about Joey Burrow?
Joey B.
Right? We're taking Joey B, right?
Gotta take Joey B.
Justin Fields. So Justin Fields now...
Justin Fields is number 8.
Justin Fields is number 11.
Or whatever.
According to ESPN, quarterback rating, QBR, whatever you want to call it.
Whoa, wow.
Pro Football Focus
I watched him miss a guy 10 yards wide open in the end zone before.
I mean, passing, no one's going to trust him passing. Like, Justin Fields is pretty bottom tier for passing.
I got to go Geno because I can't trust that passing. I can't.
Derek Carr.
He's looked at times pretty fucking bad. I love Derek Carr. Don't know if I can go with him, though.
And Derek Carr, I think, has not been playing well. ESPN's rankings, I think, are very strange. So, Marcus Mariota.
No, what?
Is at 9. No, right? That was an easy goodbye.
Did the hot dog make this list?
Here we go. Number 8, Daniel Jones.
No, give me Geno.
Geno beat him a couple weeks ago, right?
Give me Geno.
Jacoby Brissett's at 7 on ESPN. Yep.
The hot dog made it. Goodbye.
Right. So we're not taking him, right?
No, take a hike.
So here's the top 6. This is where it's going to get interesting. I guess top 6 minus Geno Smith. Jalen Hurts.
No, give me Jalen.
You're taking Jalen Hurts, right?
Yeah.
I think we're just the way he's been playing. Like, I'm not mad about that.
No.
Who would have thought that before the season, right? Lamar Jackson, your guy.
Yeah, of course. Give me Lamar.
Lamar, okay. Josh Allen, Mahomes. I put them in the same category. We're taking both of those guys.
Yeah, goodbye.
And then maybe it's insensitive, but Tua, number 1.
I don't see Tua doing what Geno's doing in Seattle.
So we're saying that Tua is a product of his offensive weapons, right?
I can't.
So you're taking Geno Smith. So quarterbacks you've put in over Geno. Aaron Rodgers. This is no order. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Joey B, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes,
Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady, yes. So right now we are at, you're saying Geno Smith is a number 9 top 10 quarterback in the league today. Yeah. ESPN's got him 4th. I believe, like I said, I believe Pro Football Focus has him number 2. I haven't checked it after this week's rankings, but I don't think he necessarily played bad against the Bucs, but yeah. So that's the Geno Smith game. We're ranking him as a top 10 quarterback. Before the season, we were like, this guy's a backup. He's not even going to start. Yeah. And now, after 10 games, we have him in the top 10. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of wild. Let's see, we got 5-6 minutes left.
I think I'd rather do a little NBA talk instead.
You want to do? Yeah, we can skip the coaches. We can push the coaches. Yeah, let's dig into the NBA real quick. Boston Celtics first in the East. Portland Trail Blazers and the Denver Nuggets tied for first, but now we talked about Portland. We said they were going to probably slide a little bit. We're starting to slide a little bit.
Give me that. I fucking love that Denver squad.
Denver's got a real good team. Denver's got a real good team. Squad. We knew Boston was going to be good. I think that was your preseason pick.
No, mine was Denver.
But it was Denver-Boston, right?
Yeah,
I believe is what you called for.
Yep.
Milwaukee Bucks look good. Cavaliers have lost 4 in a row.
Can I tell you something here?
Yeah.
Darius Garland, last night?
Yep.
I believe it was last night. Got 27 in the fourth quarter. And they lost by 6, I think.
Yep, lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
27 to give him 51 on the night.
Well, this
27 fucking points in 9 minutes in the fourth quarter.
I mean, Mitchell didn't play. That's a lot of freaking points.
They scored 40 in the fourth quarter. He scored 27 of them.
And I'll tell you. So I saw this earlier.
Are you kidding me?
And then we're gonna stay with the Cavs because we're gonna talk about the Cavs first because we love the Cavs right now. Kevin Love, when Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron all went their separate ways, Kevin Love had the option to get traded, stayed. Didn't like the situations he was going to go to. Kind of stayed the course. All of a sudden, think of the teams that those guys are on right now. The Lakers are done.
Lakers are shit.
Lakers, if they turn around, be one of the greatest turnarounds of all time.
Even though they just beat my fucking Nets.
But like Brooklyn Nets, the 6-8 Brooklyn Nets,
playing a hell of a lot better without Kyrie and without Steve Nash. So I don't know what's going on there.
But it's like, wow, Kevin Love stayed the course. Patience pays off right now, and that team, Cavaliers team, is really good. We'll see how far they make. Because, like I said, I still don't love the fit with Mitchell and Garland. We'll see how that turns out for them long term. But but I don't know if there's any. I mean, right now the best player in the league, Luka, right?
Yeah,
like
of course.
That's
Luka's
what he's
playing
doing.
out of his mind.
What he's doing right now is absolutely bonkers.
You know what else is bonkers? They don't get him anybody ever. They're just like, yeah, here's Spencer Dinwiddie and somebody else probably. That we don't know
I
who
feel
they
like
are.
there was kind of like when he was re-upping his contract, there was a little bit of talk if he was going to want to stay there if they didn't put like
seriously,
a better
because they get rid
him.
of Chris Stapps, which they should have because the guy stinks. But Spencer Dinwiddie right now is number 2 on that team.
Is he the number 2 guy on that team? I mean, like,
tell me who else would be.
Christian Wood's coming off the bench. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench.
Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing all right.
But I mean, those are bench guys.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, right now it's Vinny Smith, 3-and-D. Like, I don't know. Like, you kind of.
Are you kidding me?
He looks like a 3-and-D guy to me. Like.
But what?
You know, I guess right now I don't know what their plan is because you look at their roster and you're like, huh.
Yeah.
This is a Luka best player. Like I said, best player in the NBA.
It's the same fucking team as last year minus Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, and then like I said, I don't really know. Embiid had a huge game last night, almost 60 points, 59 points, whatever it was. Yep. I saw the Lakers are trying to get Bradley Beal, whatever they could do, but the Lakers have nothing to trade.
No, what are they going to do? They're going to
be their next 10 draft picks. Yeah. Like, what are we like? The next 20 years.
What Washington's got to be like top 5 in the East right now too.
Yeah, Washington's number 5 right now. Yeah, Washington's number 5.
Are you kidding? You think they're gonna be like, yeah, give me Russell Westbrook, which they've already tried that experiment.
Right. Yeah.
And so who are you gonna give up? Are you giving up Anthony Davis to go get Bradley Beal?
What's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point of like? I think it kind of is what it is. I don't know. The NBA is very interesting this year.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about earlier, where
Warriors kind of sliding around a little bit, not really catching any traction.
Yeah, and I think the Warriors is just going to take them a little time. But also with the Warriors too, I think they will turn it around. But I don't know the whole Draymond Green stuff before the season.
You can't tell me that didn't fuck up something in that locker room.
Right, because everyone's like, oh, it's not a big deal, not a big deal. I just don't know.
They had to have fucked up something in the locker room.
And then also, too, I felt like last year they were a deeper team last year. I mean, besides Jordan Poole off their bench, like...
No, who else? They got somebody else coming off the bench that I really like, actually.
I mean, I don't know. They're also, too, it doesn't help that they're 0-7 on the road. That's worth noting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I look at their team and you look at their bench and you're like, Jameis Wiseman, I think he kind of hurts them in a way, doesn't let them play the way they want to play, but I don't know. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Interesting because he's not playing well.
No, Suns are still playing.
Suns are still playing well.
Even with all the turmoil that's going on over there.
Right, yeah. Like I like the Bucs. Hawks are playing well right now, but I don't love their team.
No.
Like I said, I like the Cavaliers more than anybody, but I don't love the couple fits. 76ers 7-7, Miami Heat 7-7. I mean, I know
they've had a rough stretch of it.
Yeah, and it's like I said, West. There is, I mean, Nuggets, Portland. I think is going to fall off.
Yeah.
But Nuggets, the Jazz, kind of hanging around. They've lost 2 in a row. They're kind of hanging around.
No, the Jazz are very interesting.
I like the Suns. Oh, it's time. So we'll see how it happens the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We have 10 seconds at the Adam Stone. Sorry, Josh Allen.
At J_Burnett15. T's and P's, Josh Allen. Rest in peace.
See you guys next week.